Hey everybody, Eric Taylor here, Trail Hunter USA and E3 Off-Road Ambassador. It's a warm day here in Kentucky. I thought I would do a 1.5 year review of my Bronco, and also it'd be slash a build video as well, because I can't really talk about the Bronco because I've added so much to it that it's not going to be the same for anybody that gets a standard Bronco. So I'm going to talk about my build a little bit too. I can't do a video without my rooster crowing throughout the whole thing, so just know that's what's happening. Okay, as you see here, I got the Bronco Badlands, and on mine, this is a 2022 model. I got it in January of 2022, and I got the mid package on it. I did not get the Sasquatch on it. The reason I didn't get the Sasquatch package is because I knew I was going to lift it anyway and add bigger tires. As you can see, I've got 37s on here. And it came with the great Haas 2.0 system, you know, with the Bilstein position system dampers. So I didn't see any need to get the Sasquatch when I was going to lift it and put bigger tires on there anyway. Kind of saved me a little bit of money there. And I decided to go with the 2.3 liter on mine. I was going to get the 2.7 to be honest with you, but I went with the 2.3 in order to get mine quicker. They were having problems with the 2.7 or something, and you know, I've not been disappointed at all with the 2.3 liter. It's done everything I've asked it to. I've not had one problem with it. You know, it's turbo, so I mean, this thing will move. Now I might not going to say I'm not going to put a tuner on it in the future. Matter of fact, you might see a video upcoming. I've got the AFE Scorcher that I'm probably going to put on here, but it's not for speed or anything. It's for the extra torque that's going to bring to my engine. And it is a 10-speed. I got the 10-speed automatic transmission on it. I think the axle ratio is 4.7 or something like that for the Badlands. So, and you know, the Badlands has the full bash plates, full protection underneath, and also, you know, the Badlands has the front and rear locking differentials in it, and it's got the front stabilizer bar disconnect on it, which is all the stuff I wanted, because I was going to take this off-roading. You'll see scratches on this Bronco because I'm pretty hard on it. I've tested it, and I had a Rubicon before this vehicle, and I'm going to tell you that it's very comparable to a Jeep Rubicon. I think Bronco really did a great job of setting it up very similar to, which you all know, Jeep Rubicon is a great off-road vehicle, and Ford did a great job of setting this up comparable to a Jeep Rubicon. The only thing about this is it's a lot more comfortable inside and driving from the Rubicon that I had before. So I can say that that is one major advantage of this Ford Bronco over a Jeep. Now I had a Tacoma TRD Pro, and actually that was the vehicle I had before I got this. I had a Rubicon before I got the TRD Pro, and of course this outperforms the TRD Pro 100%. You just can't beat it. Now a TRD Pro, if you added the front lockers on it, I think, and lifted it, and I think it would probably be very comparable to the Bronco, but it came with just the rear lockers on it. So, and I didn't put any front lockers on it. I guess I could have, but anyway, so let's get into some more details on this. Okay, you can see on the dash there, I think you can see fuel mileage economy right now is 16.6, and that's with the 37-inch tires on there. I've got all the accessories for my YouTube videos and Instagram videos up here. I just got a standard Amazon rack here that attaches to the dashboard here, and there's some ram mounts. There's a mixture of different type things here. I don't have one set system up front. Of course, I got all the auxiliary switches up here. I've got I'll show you the lights I've got hooked up to it, and then I have all the buttons up here that you get with the Badlands. The stabilizer bar, disconnect, and then the front lockers and the rear lockers, and this trail turn assist. Okay, the Bronco also has the GOAT modes, and I'll just show you, go through them. If you switch normal, eco, slippery, mud and ruts, sand, Baja, and rock crawl. And I think, well, all models are different on what they provide, but what all the GOAT modes do is it go ahead and it switches your vehicle into the different modes needed for each situation. Like for rock crawl, it's putting it in 4 and as you can see up here on the dash, it's doing the rear lockers as well. So each mode will automatically set this parameters and things, and I don't know exactly if it does anything to the engine as far as setting up the transmission for rock crawling. I don't know if it does that or not. I don't use rock crawl. I prefer just to use my switches up here whenever I need something. I just hit those. I don't use any of the GOAT mode switches. In the back of mine, I generally keep this seat down. If you see my videos, you've seen my girls. The other one here is somewhere around here, but they ride back here. I'm actually thinking about taking that seat out and getting SHW to design me something, because I don't use it. The wife and I don't use the rear seat because all of our kids are gone and they're out of the house. So we just we have it for the dog. So there's really no need for a back seat. Maybe every now and then we'd bring somebody with us, but there's really no need for that. I'm going to now that's pretty much the basics of the Bronco. I can tell you that it's an excellent, I mean, you're not going to beat this for an off-road vehicle. Go watch my YouTube videos. You will see why this thing will go anywhere. Now I don't do the extreme stuff with it, and I mean just absolute crazy stuff, but I do. If you watch my videos, I do some pretty crazy stuff with it, and it has performed well. I've not had one single problem with the engine. You know, they talk about the steering components on the Bronco being bad. I've not had an issue with it. Now, I did do some upgrades on it, which I'll talk about in a minute. Right after I purchased it, I did a lot of upgrades to it. Okay, I talked about the good things I love about the Bronco. There's not much I don't like about it. One thing I can tell you I don't like versus the Jeep is all the electronic shifting into 4 low and 4 high. I guess I'm afraid I get stuck in a position and the electronic system won't shift it into 4 low. And I've had instances where, you know, it takes a long time to get it to shift sometimes into 4 low. when you're out on the trails. You have to stop the vehicle, put it in neutral, and then you push that button, and then I don't know, I get an uneasy feeling, and I sit there and wait for that thing to shift into 4 low, and it finally does. So usually what I'll do is, before I get into a bad situation, I'm going to go ahead and put it in 4 low just so I don't have to worry about that. The other things that I don't like is the forward regular stuff, the stupid honk when you leave it running and get out, leave the door open, and then you shut the door and the stupid thing honks. But I've fixed that, so there's ways to fix the stuff, that kind of stuff that you don't like. And I really can't think of anything else I don't like about it. You know, the fuel mileage I think is good. It's 16.6 with 37-inch tires on it. And, you know, you don't have the death wobble, by the way, with the Bronco like you do the Jeep. So that's another thing I like about it. I don't know if you gave any questions on the Bronco that I'm not answering for you in this review. Leave those in the comments. So I'm going to kind of go over all of my upgrades now, and you can do with this what you will. If you've got questions on it, leave comments and I will answer them if I can. When I first got mine in 2022, there was not hardly any parts at all, not any aftermarket parts for the Bronco. So when I made these upgrades, it was back then. But I did get really good parts for it that I feel like have performed well. The first thing I'll talk about is, all right, I got the one of the first additions I got was the 4WP front bumper. I wanted the much better approach angle on it and the relief it provides for crawling, rock crawling and stuff, with the bumper that is not going to block my tires from going up on a obstacle. Got the rigid lights in there, and of course you see the 4WP bash plate underneath there. I've got the Smitty built 12K winch, the X20, and you can see under here I got the Broncbuster tie rod buster braces, and also I got the tie rod buster bushing, BroncBushings, I think is what they're called. And also on the back I put on the rear Broncbuster rear shock skids. I'll show you that in a minute. I added the rigid lights to it, the pod lights. I've got the Yokohama Geolander 37-inch mud tires on there, and I've got the KMC wheels, 27-inch wheels on there. And if you look in here, I've got the Zone Off-Road. I got the Zone Off-Road 3.5-inch lift kit on it. And I put the Z-Roads rock sliders on there. And as you can see, I've been bashing them up pretty good. They've turned out to be great rock sliders. I put the 4WP third brake light bracket and the spare tire lift on it. You need one of those if you get larger tires to lift the tire up. And it's got the license plate hooked up to the back tire on it. And you can see the rear 4WP bumper. Again, the departure angles, I have not hit anything with this. I added that receiver there on it, and I've hit that a few times. And down there you can see I got the Broncbuster skid plates for the rear shocks. Before I got those, I mean, I guess that's one of the things maybe about the Broncos that, I don't know, those seem to be low, and they were pointed on the end where jagged, where it was like an anchor hitting if you're rock crawling. Let's see, yeah, I got the Oracle lights, flush mount lights. You can see over here I had an accident. I'm going out in the east off-roading. You tend to go between trees real close a lot of times, and I got into a tree here and it broke the backlight off, so I went with these flush mounts. I really like them. I put on this rough country tailgate support too. And up top you can see I got the Racket Designs roof rack for the Bronco soft top. The roof rack works with the hard top as well, I'm told, and that's a huge addition for me, taking it off-road and doing some overlanding with it, to put storage in there. It's come out, it's really well. It's got the front assembly there is ready to receive a light bar, 42-inch light bar, which I've not put on there yet. I've got a separate video on that rack and the installation of it if you want to watch that on our channel. You can see here on the Z-Roads that I've been hammering down on it. It's worked out really well. So my overall review here for the Bronco after a year and a half, I've not had a single problem with it. I feel like I get pretty good fuel mileage with it, with the 37-inch tires on there. With the 37-inch tires, I've had no problem with the 2.3 liter engine on it. I know there's a lot of crap out there, people talking bad about the 2.3, but it's good. You know, if you don't want to spend the extra money on the 2.7, then don't do it. The other thing I want to mention is you know, when I first started looking at these, there was reports of how bad the steering components are on this, and I've not had one issue, but yeah, I did put the BroncBuster steering components on there, his parts and stuff, so that might have helped, I don't know, but I've been banging this thing around and not had an issue with that part of it. Like I said, it drives really well. It handles well, and I drive it to work every day and off-road it, and it's just been a great vehicle. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, you know what to do. Like it, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the trails.